Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. Today I have three matches to cover, it's going to be a sort of a skimmer, I would say, because I won't be able to go into much details because, as I said, I have three matches to cover. So, just talking about what is in store for you. It's India versus England in the on the first day's play of the first Test match, where one can very surely say that India have taken the honours on the first day, with England 285 for 8, I reckon, 285 for 9 at close of play on the first day of the first Test match. Ravichandran Ashwin bowling superbly, with taking 4 wickets, but the turning point of the game was a brilliant run out by one captain of the other captain, Indian captain Virat Kohli, throwing the ball with Joe Root actually going for a non-existent second run, which resulted in Virat Kohli swinging into action and actually throwing the ball. And Ravichandran Ashwin had the presence of mind to probably he felt that the ball is going to hit the stump, so he did not go and actually tried to collect the ball, and the ball hit the bullseye, and that was the end of Joe Root. And then Joe Root was the highest score with 80, and then started all the problems for England, as England, who were looking good at one stage of the game with Joe Root and Jonathan Bairstow in control, was totally thrown out of gear, and they ended with Bairstow making 70, and they ended up at the end of the day at 285 for 9, with India surely taking the honours on the first day. As far as the second ODI between South Africa and Sri Lanka were concerned, it was a sort of an I would say it was more of Sri Lanka actually not putting up a good display on the field, because by grasping a lot of catches, some misfields happening, and but in the end it was South Africa who were the victors. But Sri Lanka did much better than the previous one day to post 244. Again, 244 was also a modest score by the standards that South Africa have, and South Africa cleared it up with a win by 4 wickets. Quinton de Kock was the man of the match. And the good things to happen for Sri Lanka were Nidarshan Dickwala getting into form, Angelo Matthews scoring the highest score of 79. Now, the third match that I'll be talking about is the first T20 match of the series between Bangladesh and West Indies. And West Indies, even though the match did not go the whole hog, with Bangladesh making 143 for 9, the West Indies batsman, all-rounder Andre Russell, it was decided with the Duckworth method, where West Indies had to make 90 odd runs. They were 91 was the target in 11 overs, but Andre Russell finished off the match in the 10th over itself, the first ball of the 10th over, as he slammed a quick fire 30 odd runs to take the West Indians to victory. And so West Indies winning the first match against Bangladesh in the T20 by 7 wickets. So now we will get on to one of the each match one by one. So first I'm going to start off the England versus India match. As I said, it was the first day of the start of the Test series, first day of the first Test match. And looking at the England card, if you look at the England card, they started off with Alistair Cook, and the toss was good to win. England won the toss and elected to bat, and India really gave us sort of a real surprise with Virat Kohli, the Indian captain, deciding to drop Cheteshwar Pujara from the team, and they instead went with Murli Vijay Dhawan and KL Rahul. To me, as far as Cheteshwar Pujara's non-selection was concerned, to me it was a sort of in my opinion, I wouldn't know whether that was a good move, but as Virat Kohli himself has said that whatever the decisions, it is his, so definitely one has to respect his decision. But as a layman in cricket, I would rather have preferred Cheteshwar Pujara to retain, but Shikhar Dhawan, I thought really escaped, and he got selected, which is good for him. But one felt a bit sorry for Cheteshwar Pujara, that one of the stone bowlers of the Indian cricket team had to really rest there. But nevertheless, and I'm sure Cheteshwar Pujara will come back pretty strong in the subsequent matches. And Shikhar Dhawan will have definitely a point to prove here because he knows that one more failure in this particular game and Cheteshwar Pujara could be in. So there's a lot of healthy competition, and that is very good to see. Now, talking about the game, Alistair Cook and Jennings started, and 7 overs were bowled where the new cherry was not really taking any effect. With Umesh Yadav and Ishan Sharma. Umesh Yadav not bowling a good line, Ishan Sharma bowling a bit short as well. And Virat Kohli did not waste any time in bringing his prime bowler, and that was Ravichandran Ashwin, who was introduced. And Ravichandran Ashwin, as soon as he came, he was given the 7th over by Virat Kohli, and as soon as he came, his magic started, as he started troubling Alistair Cook in a big way, and also Keaton Jennings. And then finally, Alistair Cook got a beauty of a delivery, tremendous drift from the delivery. It actually drifted from the middle stump onto the off stump, and Alistair Cook was on his defensive prod, but one could hear the rattle of the timber. And Alistair Cook was gone bowled by Ashwin for 13 with 2 boundaries. That was wicket number 1. Joe Root joined Keaton Jennings. Keaton Jennings looked good. He was trying to occupy the crease as much as possible, but Mohammad Shami rattled his timber for 42. So Keaton Jennings, it was bowled from round the wicket by Mohammad Shami, and Jennings was also dropped by Ajinkya Rahane when he was totally squared up, and this was something very unfortunate for Jennings, as the ball actually dropped down on his feet, and Jennings was seeing the ball trickle towards the stumps, and he did not have enough force to actually stop it, and that was the end of Jennings after some good hard work. So he was gone bowled by Mohammad Shami 42 with 4 boundaries. And David Malan was the next victim of Mohammad Shami, as he beat the inside edge of Malan. Malan went for a review, but it was too late. It was all over, and David Malan was on his way. LBW bowled Mohammad Shami for 8 with 1 boundary. And after that, from 3 wickets down, India were doing well with the England score on 112 for 3. But then came the partnership between Joe Root and Jonathan Bairstow, and suddenly nobody was looking effective against these 2 players, as Joe Root was stroking the ball to perfection. Jonathan Bairstow was playing in that powerful stroking way that he normally does, and the runs were just coming in a torrent when these 2 batsmen were at the crease. And suddenly the partnership had put on 104 runs for the good, and that was a good repair job which was done by both Joe Root and Jonathan Bairstow. And definitely Virat Kohli was trying a lot of few things, but it was not really working, as there was nothing to stop these 2 batsmen. But finally it was, and as I said, this was the turning point in the game. Now this was Joe Root, who was called by Jonathan Bairstow for a non-existent second run, and at that time they were doing well. The England score was 216 for 3, and with Joe Root going for that non-existent second run, and Virat Kohli, probably the Indian captain, did not expect it, and he swung into action right away and rifled a throw down to the non-striker's end, and Joe Root, his despairing dive could not save him, as the ball was rifled, and Ravichandran Ashwin did not even bother to actually go and collect the ball. And that was a good presence of mind shown by Ravichandran Ashwin, because he knew that Virat Kohli is very perfect in his arrow-like throws, and the ball went on to hit the stumps, and that was the end of Joe Root, and that was the turning point in the game on the first day, as Joe Root was looking very good, and it definitely required a sort of a brilliant run out from the Indian captain to see the back of Joe Root, who contributed the highest score today of 80 with 9 boundaries. And after that, it was pretty tough going for the Englishman, as wickets started falling right away, and once, as it often happens, when one partner goes, the other one follows, and that's what precisely happened, as Umesh Yadav hit the timber of Jonathan Bairstow. He tried to play through the offside, took the bottom edge, and onto the stump she went. And Bairstow was gone bowled by Yadav for 70 with 9 boundaries. and then Ravichandran Ashwin forced Ben Stokes to play at a long hop, and it ended up in Ashwin's hands. It was gone. Cotton bowled Ashwin for 21 with 2 boundaries. Josh Butler was sent on his way back after facing just 2 deliveries by Ashwin, as this was a straighter delivery from Ravichandran Ashwin, and it probably turned a wee bit to trap Josh Butler LBW for naught, and that was the end of Josh Butler. And after that, as I said, the England innings totally went into a tailspin, as Adil Rashid was consumed by Ishan Sharma LBW for 13 with 2 boundaries, and Broad also was dismissed LBW by Ravichandran Ashwin, who picked up his 4th wicket. It shapes back, and there's tremendous bowling from Ravichandran Ashwin. He was gone for 1, and it was only Sam Curran who saw off the day for England with an unbeaten knock of 24 with 3 boundaries. James Anderson was not out on naught, and that was the end of the day's play. As I said, everything pointed out to Joe Root's run out, which happened to be the most big turning point in the game, as the England were reduced to 285 for 9 at close of play. Umesh Yadav 72, but Ravichandran Ashwin was the pick of the bowlers, 25 overs, 7 maidens, 60 runs and 4 wickets. He mixed it up totally today. We could even see some leg breaks coming in from Ravichandran Ashwin today. He had some leg breaks, some off breaks, everything, mixed it up totally. Mohammad Shami 264, 1 wicket apiece to Umesh Yadav and Ishan Sharma. So well done India on their first day of the Test series, doing a wonderful job, and that was it as far as the first display was concerned. Now quickly, we are looking at I'm taking you down to the second ODI between South Africa and Sri Lanka, and this time Sri Lanka put up a much better effort than in the previous ODI, as they went on to score 244 for 8, the highest scorer being Angelo Matthews with an unbeaten 79. He was the one who piloted the Sri Lankan innings with an unbeaten 79 of 111 balls to 6 overs. It was good to see Angelo Matthews getting into some form. Niroshan Dikwala is another man, as I said. He's always a very dangerous customer because of his unorthodoxy that he has, and he definitely showed that by ramping Rabada into the fence, and also using his feet against Kagiso Rabada in the power play overs. And Dikwala today ran into some very good form with an innings of 69 of just 78 deliveries, which included 10 fours. Taranga fell for 9. Nigiri, in fact, gave them a double breakthrough very, very early with 2 wickets going for 13. And he consumed the wickets of Upul Taranga, out for 9 of 8 balls, 2 fours, caught behind by Kenton Deacock. And Kushal Mendes was able to bowl Nigiri for a first ball duck, and the Sri Lanka were in trouble. But then they lost Kushal Pereira for 12 to the bowling of Philip Wayo. But after that, the rot was stemmed by the captain Angelo Matthews in the company of Niroshan Dikwala, as they took the score on to probably 70 odd runs was added, just done. And then Dikwala was bowled by Philip Wayo for 69 of 78 balls, 10 fours, and that was good to see Niroshan Dikwala hitting form at the right moment. Matthews continued on, but there's not much forthcoming support for Angelo Matthews, as the debutant Prabhat Jayasuriya made his debut today, was consumed by Mulder of 18 of 27 balls with 1 4. Tisra Pereira could not do much. He made 19 of 20 balls with 2 fours. Akil Dhananjay was out for 9 to Rabada for 12 for 1 fours, and Lakmal bowled with Philip Wayo for 7. And it was only Angelo Matthews who piloted the Sri Lankan innings to 244 for 8. And Angelo Matthews was not out on 79 of 111 deliveries with 6 fours. Jayasuriya was not out on Shehan Jayasuriya. The Prabhat Jayasuriya on debut was not out on 11, as many balls with 1 4. The bowling, if you look at it, Rabada 9 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 48. Gidi 8 overs, 1 maiden, 50 runs and 3 wickets. Mulder I thought bowled a decent line today. 7 overs, 1 for 26. Philip Wayo 9 overs, 3 for 45. Domini 7 overs, none for 30. And Tabrez Shamsi bowled 10 overs, none for 43. Now South Africans were given a target of 245 to actually win the match. And the good thing was that Quinton de Kock, the opener, got into some lively form with an 87 of 78 deliveries, which included 13 fours and 1 6. Hashim Amla's coming into form. Hashim Amla got into some sort of form, but what was good to see was Hashim Amla was getting that sort of the smooth flow in his strokes, which is good to see. He contributed a run-a-ball stuff of 43 43 deliveries with 6 boundaries. Aidan Markram continued his dismal tour of South Africa, as he has probably collected 17 or 19 runs only on this tour, and once again it was Akil Dhananjaya, the spinner, who did him in for 3. And also Hashim Amla's continued his problems against the spinner Dhananjaya. He was caught in ball with Dhananjaya for 43. Markram is definitely searching for real form here, because he's not able to do anything out there, and he was gone for 3 today. And then it required du Plessis to contribute an innings of 49, 41 deliveries, 3 fours, 2 sixes. Dominic contributing 32 of 29, 1 4, 1 6. David Miller's 3, and then it was left to Mulder and Feluquayo to take the South Africans to victory and give them a 2-0 ODI series lead. Mulder was not out 19 of 31 deliveries, 1 4. Feluquayo was not out 7 of 19 deliveries, 1 4. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, Lakmal Sen was 1 for 39. Kasunda Jita was costly, 5.49, 44-1. Dhananjaya, once again, he picked up the wickets. Dhananjaya believes in actually buying the wickets because he leaked 60 runs, but he picked up 3 wickets. Pereira Sen was 1 for 34, bowled very well. Jayasuriya on his debut, 10 overs, none for 53, got a bit of bashing. Jayasuriya 3 overs, none for 16, Shehan Jayasuriya. And Quinton de Kock was declared man of the match. So South Africa really doing a very good job here in the ODI series, having taken a 2-0 series lead now in the ODI series. Now let's get on to the Bangladesh versus West Indies. We are talking about the first T20 match, and Bangladesh actually were the ones who actually batted first, and they didn't have a good start at all. Ashley Nurse was given the ball to bowl in the initial stages, and the very first ball. Now that was something that was really uncalled for. Tamim Iqbal probably having that super confidence because he had 2 centuries in the ODI. There was no necessity for Tamim Iqbal to come down the wicket in a mad rush with the very first ball of the match being bowled by Ashley Nurse, the spinner, and it resulted in Tamim Iqbal getting stumped by Ramadin of Knot. And then Soumya Sarkar, so it was a sort of a very good start for the West Indies, as Soumya Sarkar was the next one to go. He was clean bowled by Nurse for Knot, and with both the openers into the hut, it was left to Litan Das. Litan Das made 24 of 21, 3 fours. Shakib Al Hassan making 19 of 10 balls with 4 fours. Mushfiqur Rahim 15 of 11, 2 fours. Mahmudullah was the one who really biffed a few towards the end stages to contribute 35 27 deliveries with 3 fours and 2 sixes, which had the Bangladesh score moving on to 143 for 9 of their 20 overs. Mahmudullah made 35. Ariful Haq was out for 15, bowled by Russell. Matthews and Miraz 11, Nazmul Islam 7, and 143 for 9 on the board for the Bangladeshis. Now, if you look at the bowling figures, now one was wondering as to why Brathwaite did not press Ashley Nurse to bowl at all after that 1 over where he gave away 6 runs and 2 wickets. It was a sort of a very strange idea, I thought. But nevertheless, West Indies won the match, but Ashley Nurse bowled 1 over for 2 for 6. Andre Russell 4 overs, 1 for 27. Badri 3 overs slam for 35, which is an unusual side in T20 for Samuel Badri, the T20 specialist bowler. Kima Paul 4 overs now made in 2 for 24, bowled well. Brathwaite 4 overs, none for 10, but Kesrick Williams was simply excellent. He was absolutely on the money. 4 overs now made in 28 runs and 4 wickets. He totally mixed it up with those slower deliveries, with the short ones, and it was pretty good to see Kesrick Williams bowl superbly. Picked up his best ODI bowling figures there. As far as West Indies were concerned, they were given a target of 91 runs to win. They lost Andre Fletcher very early. Mustafizur Rahman, like how Ashley Nurse provided a double breakthrough. Similarly, we had Mustafizur Rahman bowling a double wicket maiden over in the first over, in the second over of the game, second over of the West Indies innings, by scalping the wickets of Fletcher for 7 of as many balls with 1 6. Evan Lewis out for 2 of 5 balls. And then due to the rain, it was decided that they needed 91 from 11 overs, and Andrew Russell, the very powerful hitter, was promoted to the batting order. He did not disappoint the West Indies as he slammed an unbeaten 35, just 21 deliveries with 3 fours and 3 sixes, hitting 2 sixes on the bowling of Mustafizur Rahman. Marlon Samuels, coming back in the West Indies side, contributed a quicksilver 26 of 13 deliveries, 2 fours and 2 sixes. Roman Powell was the one who brought the winning hit with a 6. It was not out on 15 of 9 deliveries, 2 sixes, and it was all over. West Indies had taken the first T20 match by the Duckworth Lewis method, and they have gone 1 up in the 3-match series. If you look at the bowling from the West Indian from the Bangladeshi bowlers, Mehdi Hasan Miraz just bowled 1 over for 9 runs. Mustafizur Rahim 2 overs 1 maiden 2 for 18. After bowling the double wicket maiden over, 18 runs were taken by Andre Russell. Shakib Al Hasan 2.1 overs, no maiden, none for 27. 2 overs for 24 for the spinner Nazmul Islam. Ruben Hassan 2 overs, none, 1 for 13. So that's the match situation. As I said, because there were 3 matches, I had to I couldn't go into much details, but I just could go and talk about some significant features of the game. Well, dear fans and subscribers, hope you all loved this cricket broadcast of mine. With more to come on my next cricket broadcast, would be the second day's play in the first Test match between England and India at Edgbaston. I thought the Indians will try to wrap it up very quickly in the morrow, but Sam Curran could be a sort of a one who could probably defy the Indians, but one has to wait and see. And let's hope we get a good game of cricket tomorrow at Edgbaston. Well, this being said, it's about time for me to bid you all a very good night. Thank you.